Please subscribe now, and don't forget to like. The night was completely silent. No wind, no sound, only the soft ticking of a clock on the wall. He lay on his bed, staring at the dark ceiling, feeling strangely uneasy. Nothing bad had happened, yet his chest felt heavy, as if something unseen was watching. Slowly, his eyes closed. Sleep took him without warning. He opened his eyes again. He was still in his room. Same bed, same walls, same door. But something was wrong. The air felt colder, thicker. When he tried to move his hand, it felt slow, heavy. That was when fear quietly entered his mind. He realized he might be dreaming. At first, the sound was barely noticeable. A soft, scratching noise, like nails touching wood. It came from somewhere behind the walls. He held his breath, listening carefully. The scratching slowly turned into whispering. Not words, just voices. The walls began to stretch unnaturally. The ceiling rose higher and higher. The door at the end of the room looked farther away than before. He stood up, but the floor felt unstable beneath his feet. This place was no longer safe. This dream was changing. In the corner of the room, a shadow formed. At first, it was only darkness. Then it grew taller, thinner. Its shape slowly became human-like. It did not move. It only watched him in silence. His body froze. His heart pounded violently. He wanted to scream, but no sound came out. Every instinct told him to run, yet his legs refused to obey. The fear felt ancient, deep, and unnatural. This was not an ordinary nightmare. He shut his eyes tightly. "This is a dream," he whispered in his mind. "Wake up," he counted. He focused on breathing. When he opened his eyes again, the shadow was closer. The figure leaned forward. A pale, twisted smile appeared on its face. Its eyes were empty, cold. The whispering grew louder, filling the room. He felt like his thoughts were no longer his own. Something was entering his mind. He tried to run toward the door. Each step felt slower than the last. The door vanished. The walls closed in. The shadow followed him calmly, without rushing. It knew there was no escape. The figure stood directly in front of him, its face inches away from his. It whispered softly into his ear, "You will wake up, but I will stay." Suddenly, everything went black. He woke up suddenly. His eyes flew open. He was breathing heavily, his clothes soaked with sweat. The room looked normal again. Morning light entered through the window. For a moment, relief washed over him. "It was just a dream," he whispered. But deep inside, he felt something was wrong. As he sat up, he noticed scratches on his arm. Long, thin marks. Fresh. He didn't remember hurting himself. His heart skipped a beat. Dreams weren't supposed to leave marks. Fear returned, quietly but firmly. Later that day, while sitting alone, he heard it again. A whisper, soft, familiar. It called his name. He turned around quickly. No one was there. The voice came from inside his head. The dream was not over. That night, he was afraid to sleep. He kept the lights on. He stayed awake as long as he could. But exhaustion won. His eyes closed slowly, and once again, he fell into the darkness. This time, he was not in his room. He stood in a long, endless hallway. The walls were cracked. The floor was wet. Dim lights flickered above him. Every step echoed loudly. Something was following him. He could feel it. No matter how long he walked, the hallway never ended. Doors lined both sides, all slightly open. From inside them came muffled cries, begging voices. He wanted to help, but fear forced him forward. He knew stopping would be a mistake. He passed a broken mirror. Out of curiosity, he looked at it. What he saw made his blood run cold. The reflection smiled back at him, but he was not smiling. The reflection whispered, "You belong here." His body started moving on its own. He tried to stop. He tried to scream. Nothing worked. His feet carried him toward a door at the end of the hallway. The door slowly opened by itself. Darkness waited inside. Inside the room, the shadow waited. The same figure from the first dream. It stood taller than before. Stronger. It spoke clearly now. "Every time you fear me, I grow." He realized the truth. This thing was feeding on him. The shadow stepped closer and placed a hand on his chest. He felt cold spread through his body. His vision blurred. The last thing he heard was its voice. "You will wake up again, but you will never be free." Darkness consumed everything. He woke up screaming. This time, it felt different. The room was silent. No whispers, no shadows. Days passed, then weeks. The dreams never returned. The scratches faded. Life slowly went back to normal. One night, while brushing his teeth, he looked into the mirror for a second. The reflection blinked late. He froze. The reflection smiled. The lights went out. The end